Welcome to Beyond the Norms, the podcast where we question the rules, challenge traditions, and rethink the everyday standards shaping our society. From education and religion to culture and lifestyle in Nigeria, we dive deep into the issues that matter, spark conversations, and inspire fresh perspectives. I am Onwodizion Emeka and I'm here with my co-hosts Nwobi Ikenna, Jude. Together we will explore what happens when we dare to think differently. So I think it's good timing that we are talking about this episode, this topic. Nigeria just celebrated 65 years and I think I want to start like this. What does it feel like to be a Nigerian?
The feeling is very much mixed to be a Nigerian. Sometimes it can be very hard, because we don't have it structured out for us. So sometimes it can be very hard to think about it. But also, being a Nigerian means that we are called to think and be creative to develop the nation, since it's a developing nation. So
personally, me, I feel like to be a Nigerian now, like once you are born into the country, is like the world is leading you 1-0. Because let me ask you this: what is one thing about being a Nigerian that you feel like is the scariest thing?
The scariest thing for me is the insecurity.
Exactly, same thing with me.
Yes, you might evade every other factors that tries to limit you and still fall in the hand of bad people, which none of us actually wish. I'll cite the story that circulated about 2 days ago or so. There is this Arise TV presenter that's actually died. She fell off from 3-story building while there was robbery in her estates. So,
wow, 2 days ago?
Yes, just 2 days ago. I mean, it's still very much circulating because she's a popular person, an anchor for Arise TV. So
that's very sad. I'm surprised you just highlighted the same thing that I had in mind, because you see, the insecurity is my biggest fear. And when I say insecurity, I don't just mean insecurity as regards life and property, but even in your job, you don't have security. Your boss can just wake up today and fire you.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's nobody you could run to. I would give an example also of, remember when we were 300 level? Yes. That medical student that they said they shot. I don't know if you heard that story. That year one student where they say they shoot.
Definitely.
For Book Foundation. I saw that dead body, and when the incident happened, I was expecting that maybe UNIZIC will release a statement, set up a committee to investigate the matter. Nothing happened. The girl just died like that. So the issue of insecurity is my biggest problem. And I feel that is what has been the major sponsor of what we now know as the Japa culture, where young Nigerians especially are trying as much as they can to just live. So before we get into it, I would like to just share some statistics to give some insight as to why I feel like we as young Nigerians should be speaking more about these issues. An article in Punch newspaper published that by 2024, over 2.1 million Nigerians were living abroad. Another article in Migrants Affairs said that 17 million diasporas, that's like a much broader estimate of people, including second generation and third generation, that's the children of the children we don't migrate, go abroad.
Okay, good to know that.
Yeah, so about 17 million of them are currently living abroad.
That's a huge number.
A very huge number. Another statistic stated that in a 2020 research, that 89.87% of young Nigerians want to study abroad. So you have students finishing from their university degree and obviously me, I'm already in the rat race now, like that. Scholarship, every day we are looking for scholarship, like it has become a full-time job.
Yes.
Sending applications, statement of purpose.
And it's very stressful to say the truth.
It's a full-time job because most of these scholarship programs,
yes,
you need to write 2 applications, because most times you would rarely see scholarship opportunities that is the school itself that is offering the scholarship. In most cases, is a foundation that is collaborating with the school. So you have to apply to the school first.
Okay.
Get admission from there. Meet all their criteria before you now start applying for the grant or the scholarship. And there is this thing they call the IELTS English test that you're supposed to take. which is super expensive. I think around 280,000.
Yeah, I guess you also go for training as well, to help you to understand how to speak the language properly.
Yes, exactly.
Even if you already know how to speak it, but you just need to.
Exactly. So you see that a lot of people are leaving, and these statistics that I've read so far, I think it doesn't just only prove that people are running away, but it also proves that they are actually succeeding. People are like, if you put your mind to it, you go come up for this country. That's what all these statistics is telling me. So my question to you now is this: why do you think people are leaving, especially young Nigerians? I mean, 89.87% of young Nigerians have shared interest that they would prefer to study abroad, to leave the country.
Well, there are a lot of factors that contribute to why people are leaving the country. One of them, insecurity. A lot of people don't feel secure in this country. In fact, every day you'll be saddened every day while you go through news. The news is always about killings, robbery, kidnappings going on everywhere across the country, and because people don't feel secure, they want to actually go to places where their life can actually be secured, and the government has attention. Like, the government actually thinks for them. Yes. So another reason is the education. Education is one reason why major reason why young people are running away from the country. Japa,
Japa culture.
Yeah,
I mean, it has become a term.
Yeah, it's a term, a big one.
It has become like a movement.
Yes. A lot of us don't feel like. In fact, it's a fact that the level of education, the kind of education we are acquiring here, does not really translate to something that is going to impact on the society. That at the end of the day, you can actually use it to solve problems.
Exactly.
But the major reason why people get educated is to be able to solve societal problem. And when your country can't afford your education that translates to solution to your problem, then you want to actually go out. Another reason why I feel like people are moving away from the country is unemployment. So unemployment is, I think, one of the biggest factors. You have a lot of people who want to leave, and the issue is that they are even going through means that are not very good. I mean, this risky means.
Yeah, people that are through deserts.
Yes, through the deserts, through the Mediterranean Sea. Those means are very, very risky and can cost them their life. And
How do you, like, there was one of my neighbors in Lagos that I heard that he's currently in Germany now. I think they said the way he relocated abroad was they put him in this container and it was in the ship. They now bored holes on the container. Like, look at what people are going through.
It's very risky. Can you imagine going through sea and then being inside of it? If that container sinks for any reason, honestly, you don't have any chance of.
Honestly, I think at this point, people are not just running because they just want to go and have a better life, to go and faji, enjoy themselves. I think right now it's our survival instincts that are kicking in. Because, and bro, if you think Nigeria is worse now, personally, I feel like we are just starting. You don't agree?
I don't totally agree with that. I don't totally agree with that. Although I share the same feeling as you. You know, I'm afraid that this country might not really get better within short time. But I know it's going to get better if we give it time as well.
Like, how many years? Nigeria is 65. How long should we wait? Like, would we wait forever? I don't understand.
That shouldn't be reason for us. That should not be a strong reason for us to actually leave the country. Because if we all leave the country, like if many of us leave the country, who is going to fight for it to get better? I feel like that is something we should think about as well.
Who will fight for it? I'm like, why am I obliged to fight? The country, see, I like Nigeria, but Nigeria don't like me. Like, so why should I fight for Nigeria? What has the country given me?
This is the
I don't think anybody has obligation to.
This is the only place where you are a first class citizen, where you are a citizen.
First class citizen. See, let me tell you something. You are only a first class citizen when you are put beside somebody that you have money more than. When you are in Nigeria, if you date beside a person who gets money past you, you are automatically a second class citizen to that person.
I think that's applicable almost everywhere.
No, it's not. It's not applicable everywhere.
the richer people in the society I feel they are cared for more than
not
the,
to the level that
low class people.
it is being done here in Nigeria. I mean, when I traveled, you see people that have money, they still walk on the road and just drive one car, simple car.
Okay,
Like there's no extravagance. But here in Nigeria, imagine say even when bill or dey pass this place, the convoy alone sef go let you know say you and I no be mates. So first class citizen wey no get standby light, first class citizen wey no sure wetin e go chop tomorrow. But there are a lot of Nigerians right now that are ready to become second class citizens elsewhere, in as much as they have security, they have good education.
Yes.
Like I was listening to somebody recently and she said something. She said one of the reasons why we don't have so many sincere people in Nigeria is because the system is rigged against them. There is no security. Imagine somebody that maybe like a tech bro that has taken his time to build something and like amass the fortune for himself. Do you know that the government can come tomorrow and just sign one bill and all your hard work gone? Haven't you seen people that in Lagos that will build house, spend millions building house, and federal government will come and put one X and it's gone?
It's very bad. It's very bad. I've seen the cases. The recent case is the one in trade fair where they broke a lot of where they destroyed a lot of buildings. And I don't think that's also very good.
All right, so I want to ask you a question. Do you think social media makes Japa, living Nigeria, look sweeter than it really is? And I'll give you an instance. So recently I was with one of our mutual friends. So while we were discussing, we started scrolling on TikTok, and it was then I found out there is something called a travel blog, where people that are about to travel, from the process of getting their international passport to applying for the visa to when they place their travel hair, buy new clothes, food stuff, they will record and document everything. So when they are about traveling on the plane, they will now use CapCut and just put everything together and post a travel vlog living Nigeria.
I've seen a lot of that.
You've seen it also.
Yes.
That was the first time I was seeing something like that. So while we were scrolling, we scrolled through the first one, second one, third one, fourth one. It was going and going and going non-stop. I was like, people they travel come out to like. So I'm asking, do you think this whole social media putting it out there about traveling and making it look sweeter, do you think they are making it sweeter than it actually is and putting a lot of pressure on young Nigerians to want to leave the country?
I think so. I think a lot of people are, for reasons, maybe some of them, as you say, blogs, they are doing it for the traffic. What they don't tell you is that life is not always greener out there. Like there is a fair share of suffering from everywhere. So some of them don't tell you that, and some people who I don't know, I don't want to use the word gullible, because they think that is soft elsewhere, so you can actually go and and
just go there and just start a better life.
Yeah, exactly.
But like my question to you now is this: do you think young Nigerians should be fighting? Because you see, a lot of people don't know that to jump back more for Nigeria no cheap.
Yeah.
It's actually quite expensive, from processing your international passport to visa fee, getting the visa, paying for flight tickets, paying for getting, except you have someone that's going to sponsor you there, but as a young man or a young lady wanting to relocate, you guys get accommodation.
It's a lot of money.
You guys get what you go do for them. And most of these governments, foreign governments, they would require that you have a particular amount of money in your account readily available for you before they will give you their visa. So, do you think young Nigerians should stay back and try to build something here, home, or they should find better life elsewhere?
Yeah, immigration has always been a thing. So I'm not going to say that everybody should stick to this country. No one should migrate to other places. All I'm going to say is that if you are going there purposefully. You should know what you go there for. You shouldn't just go and take up jobs that you wouldn't do. Job that you consider very odd and you would not take them up for any reason, just because you want to Japa and you want to. So purposefully, you travel. If you want to travel, you travel purposefully. And a lot of us who think that we can get things can actually work in this country should stay back and work as well, and make it work.
You now, if you were given the opportunity, say fully sponsored,
Yes.
your ticket, they go pay everything.
Yeah.
You have accommodation over there already. Would you go or you stay?
Yeah. The question, like I said earlier, you should travel out purpose. You should have a purpose in mind, which should take you out. If I'm going to travel out, I'll ask myself, what exactly do they want me to travel out for? If you want me to actually travel out just because, just to go and reside there and have my life there, I don't feel like abroad is where I want to spend the rest of my life. My life.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You like Nigeria? Oh?
Yeah, I actually like the country. I actually like the country. I have my roots here. I was born here. I was brought up here, and everything has been Nigeria for me. So I like the country. If I'm going out,
What exactly do you like about Nigeria?
Sorry, I feel like I should throw light into that question. So if I should go out, it is just to go and acquire education and probably gain experience, industrial experience, and then come back to apply those experiences I've gained and try to make the country better.
But what do you like about this country? What exactly?
Like I said, it's a place where you are a first class citizen. Even if you don't,
you are not a first class citizen.
Even if you don't want to, don't want to agree with me on that, it's a place where you are a first class citizen.
First class citizen on paper.
Okay.
Anybody can harass you. Anybody, so far, anybody that has more money than you you are a second class citizen, a third class citizen self to that person. For Nigeria, now only people will get money now be first class citizen. So that concept of this is the only place where you are a first class citizen, now lie.
So there are many reasons. Like there is this spiritual attachment. Like you are just attached.
Spiritual attachment.
No, you are attached to the land. You love the land and the terrain.
I'm not attached to any land.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm speaking for myself. Yes, I kind of like the land and everything, the warmth of the weather and everything. So that's it for me. There are other reasons, but this is what comes in mind at the moment.
You like Nigeria? Okay, okay. Let's look at some of the emotional cost of relocating abroad, because we have a lot of people that have relocated abroad, and I think there is something I heard recently called the survivor guilt. We say they start feeling like they are over there enjoying and their family are back here in Nigeria suffering. Yes. You also have other people that will argue and say that when you travel over there, over time you lose your roots. Yes. Like you forget who you are. Yes. What do you have to say to that?
Like you said about the guilt, sometimes people feel like they are under pressure to
send money
provide
back
for their family that are behind. So that's a real thing. That's a real thing for me, and I feel like people don't you don't actually owe people. You don't actually owe people so much. So if you feel the need to actually provide for them, you can provide. So
you feel like they are not obliged, but I think in some cases they are obliged, because you see some of these people you see some families, they save up, and some of them sometimes sell their properties just to send at least one of their children abroad. So it's like they're investing all their.
Yeah, okay, that's a special case. If they provided for you while you are going, I feel like you are obliged to do some years. You have to return. It's an investment, so you have to do give them their return on investment.
Yeah, true. So what do you say about those people that argue and say when you stay outside of your country for so long, Nigeria in this case, you start to lose your origins?
Yeah, that's the thing. You see the cases of children they were born there and they don't actually know that they are even. Some of them don't even know that they have Nigerian origin anymore. Like these diasporans, some of their children don't know that they have Nigerian origin because their parents don't actually tell them about it.
But does it really matter?
So at some point you lose your roots. In fact, 2 to 3 generations to come, if you ask them if they are Nigerian, they don't even recognize whether they are Nigerians again.
But my honest, does it really matter? Like, if I know that I'm a Nigerian, like, how much does it put in my account?
I know that you don't have so much attachments to this place, but for some of us who have it, I feel like it matters to us.
So I think another emotional cost that people tend to suffer from when they relocate abroad is family separation. You have siblings that have not seen their self for like years. Let's say, for example, maybe when you were about to travel out permanently, your mom was pregnant and then she gave birth when you were not there. Some people have not seen some of their siblings in their life. Like, do you think that should be reason enough for people to want to stay back?
If you have something tangible you are going out there to do, you want to achieve something. I don't think it should be a reason for people to stay back. You should actually go out and try to achieve what you, and then come back when time is
You keep
necessary.
emphasizing on come back. Like, is it a must we come back?
Definitely.
Why?
This is your country. I don't feel like people should actually leave. Although we are different, we are different people. And so if you feel like you should go out, if you feel like you should leave and not come
Not
back,
come back.
I don't feel is your own issue. But for me, anything you are doing, you should always come back and try to improve on what is here already. Because we can actually make this country a very good place for every one of us.
But is it our responsibility to make the country?
Yes, it's your responsibility to be a patriotic citizen and make the country a better place. Because those places you are running to, it was people that actually made it
Better.
yes, they were once bad. The system was once bad there. But they saw that if they don't make it good, no one is going to do it for them. They stood back and fought for it.
But Nigerians are trying. Like I feel like over recent years, Nigerians are more intentional about making this country better. I'll give an example of the last election that we had. People came out, young Nigerians came out to go and do their NIN. Like, there's this statistics that I even saw that the diasporas that were registering for NIN jumped from approximately 366,000 in 2023 to 1.4 million around early mid 2025, which is approximately 308% increase. So you have a lot of Nigerians that are trying to be more involved in politics. You see, they are coming out to vote. But at the end of the day, did it make any difference?
Yeah, good for us, good for them too. Because I'm going to say they should not give up. If we come out to do something, it might not work the first time we come out. But if we just
It's not the
leave it
first
like
time we
that.
are coming out.
No, I'm just saying the first of the times like we came out to do those. But if we just leave it like that and abandon because it did not work at this very early stage, then it's a loss for everyone. We should consistently do what we have been doing and improve on the fights we are putting out.
What if I say, at least me, I don't play my part. I've already come out, it no work. May the next generation continue from there. I find my way.
I don't feel like it's a good mindset. I don't feel like it's a good mindset.
So we should stay here and be fighting.
Just because.
Do you know how many people died during NSAS at Lekki Toll Gate?
Just because you have a heart problem does not mean that you should abandon it for people around you to solve.
No be me
Who's going to solve? Who's going to solve?
Now me spoil Nigeria. No be me spoil Nigeria. Now, so why do I have to be the one to fix it?
Oh, Zion, I don't know if I can rescue you from this mindset, but there's no issue.
Like,
I feel like with time you would get to understand better, and I'm also open, to changing perspective. If you
I'm
can
open.
give me
That's
good
why I'm
reasons.
talking about it. But like, I've not seen reason enough for me to dedicate, because I feel like human beings don't have the luxury of time, and destiny is measured in the unit of time. So if time is a scarce commodity, why then should I spend years of my life trying to fix something that I did not spoil?
But it's your home. It's a place where you call home. So who is going to fix
I
it?
can call you as home.
I'll give you an example where there was this apartheid regime of South Africa.
Yeah.
And Mandela went to prison for it for about 20 something years, and he came out and at least blacks have rights now in South Africa. Before it wasn't so. But if there were no people who believed that it could get better and fight for it during that period, they wouldn't be enjoying what they are. In fact, they will still be living in what is similar to slavery today. So everyone doesn't have to leave. Some people have to stay back and
like
fight
you that want to
and
stay
make
back.
it better.
So you will stay back and fight.
I feel like the fight doesn't mean that you should go and do a lot of riots and everything.
Protest.
But the fight means that you should contribute your own quota towards the improvements, towards the improvement of the growth of the country. Yes. So that's the fight for me. There are a lot of people who have contributed to the growth of this country, and I feel like they have put up a good fight. So with that,
and where are they?
The leaders don't have any.
All those things, all those efforts they have put into the country. Has it made any difference so far? Nigeria is getting worse day by day.
I will give you examples. There are people like Charis. He is into agriculture.
Yeah.
He's putting up his own fight by, improving that sector. This
The
flutter wave.
agricultural sector.
Yes, this flutter wave you are
So
seeing.
before you move into another sector, the agricultural sector, how many Nigerians still eat local made rice?
You shouldn't just talk about. We are exporting some agricultural products today. That's one thing you should know.
What percentage of our GDP does
In fact,
agriculture account for?
a lot of us now eat local rice. Yes, that's the truth. A lot of us.
Now for Anambra here,
No, a lot of us now eat. They call it local foreign. I mean, it's those kind of it's those kind of low graded rice, but you see a lot of us still eat it because it's cheaper than the one.
but most people, if
you acquire from.
honestly, I feel like the people that still eat local rice is because they cannot afford foreign rice. The moment you attain a status, a societal status where you can afford foreign rice, nobody go dey chop our own thing again because it has not improved. You go buy local rice, 70% na rice, 30% na stone. So I don't. The cost you mentioned, I've not seen any tangible impact.
Because Charis sells good rice, that's the truth. And a lot of other people who sell good rice that you will not be able to tell them apart from foreign rice that you buy, honestly. So if you go to the market, there are
How many of these things are we exporting? Which country buys rice from us?
I'm not talking about rice. Maybe people are not buying rice, but there are other products that we export. We've been exporting cocoa for God knows how long. We've been exporting a lot of other products. Shea butter now, I think they cited it recently that Nigeria is one of the highest exporter of shea butter.
Okay, you see, I agreed we have these things. But the money that is coming in, where is it going to?
It's being used to, I'm not going to say that they are totally being invested, but we know we have bad politicians that are sabotaging the whole effort. But you can see the impact. So it's being used to develop. Those money are being used to further develop develop the land.
Yeah.
It was where we are today is not where we used to be before. That's one thing you must record.
You say Nigeria is better off today. Do you know?
To an extent, we have improved a lot.
In what aspects? How much is the naira to the dollar to the hike? I think it was Victor that told me one time that naira was higher than dollar at some point. I don't know if you ever.
It was almost equivalent to dollar. I mean, in the 80s and the 70s, it was almost
today in 2025, $1 is how much?
I mean, it's quite huge.
And you say we've improved. So where is the improvement you are talking about?
I feel like that's a narrow scope for you to just say.
Okay, tell me the aspect that education we've not improved, agriculture we've not improved, medicine we've not improved. Now, speaking on the issue of medicine, you see, I wanted to state it earlier on as one of the major reasons why a lot of Nigerians are running out of this country. See, I tell you today, you are one sickness away from dying. There are people. I was listening to a podcast, Tea with Stay, recently, and she was narrating how her father died.
Yes.
And the issue was not the money. She said she had the money. Even if they come say make them bring 20 million, say they go treat her papa, she go drop the money even if na cash they want. But we did not have the infrastructure. So there's a kind of sickness that will hit you today. Before you go fly, come up from here, you go don't die. Sure you get. So if you say we've improved, where? In what sector? Academically, we've not improved. We did an episode recently speaking about how flawed our educational system is. In medicine, we've not improved. Agriculture, we've not improved. So what aspect would you say we've improved?
There has been tiny improvements. Infrastructure, we have improved a bit.
In infrastructure, Nigeria cannot account for 20 hours light per day and say we've improved in infrastructure. What infrastructure? How many good roads do we have? When last did you pass this Ibadan-Abeokuta express road? You see this thing they pay me. Guy, you can't sleep when you're in that road because the road is too rough. So what infrastructure? No lights, no good water. See water where we dey suffer for Anambra. Do you know how many times I've treated typhoid this year? Because of bad water, no electricity. The bad electricity affects your productivity every day. No be me and you dey run enter school every day to find where to charge. So which infrastructure are you talking about?
I know we actually deficient in a lot of places, but there has been subtle, there have been little improvements that we can talk and we can, reckon. That's it for me, and we can always fight to make.
Can you cite one of these areas?
I've talked about agricultural sector. Another area where Nigeria have actually improved is in terms of these startups. There are a lot of people that are making wave in startup. Flutter wave was created out of this country. We have some people that are building drones that are being exported to some West African countries. And those are where we can count improvements. And many other sectors, like there are many other sectors, fashion industry.
Yeah.
There is the Nollywood, which is the second largest movie industry in the world. So those are places we have improved. Those are places people are putting up fights to defeat this bad system that we have.
Yeah. I think one of the major areas where I feel like we have improved as a country is in media and entertainment. Nigerian music now is making waves out there, so I can give that to us.
Okay.
I can give that to us in media and entertainment. But you spoke about startups, and I don't want us to digress too much, but I would just like to put it out there. Personally, I feel like all these people that you spoke about, Flutter Wave, we have Money Point, we have all of these tech startups that are really helping the economy.
Yes.
I believe all these people at certain point in their life they had to travel out of the system at some point. They had to travel out. I'm not too sure, but I feel like they must have traveled out to get maybe better education or something, because there's an ideology that I have personally. I believe in order for you to help the system, you need to step out of the system and look at it from an outsider's perspective. And I will explain with an analogy so that you can better understand. Let's say you suffer from malaria now, and me if I suffer from malaria now. We are both suffering for the same thing. Can I help you get better from malaria? Of course not, because the same thing way they do you now, the same thing way they do me. So before Nigerians can help the country, we need to not be plagued by the country. We need to put ourselves in a situation where we see now person we don't hike, now person we don't chop full belly. Now they think of how to help home. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I understand that.
So I believe we need to step out of the system and look at it from an outsider's perspective before we can do anything to improve the system. That's why I advocate that try and come out. Even though I will agree with you that it is okay that after some time, because personally I don't intend to live there forever.
Okay.
At certain point I obviously have plans to come back, because there are businesses I want to do over here, there are startups I want to do over here. So definitely I'm going to return, but I feel it is imperative that at some point you leave. And because you see, when I traveled out, there was something it did to my mind, Ike. One thing it did to my mind was it helped me to see that this world we did is a lot bigger than what we see.
Yes.
The world is bigger than what we expect. And there was I don't know if it was Steve Harvey that said something that your dreams are only limited to what you've seen. You cannot dream bigger than what you've seen, your immediate surrounding. So for you to be able to dream bigger, you need to have gone to explore the world. You need to go out there. You need to change your environment. That's why I keep advocating for people living, even if you don't travel out of Nigeria, people who don't be born and brought up in Anambra, try and live this environment.
I agree with that idea too. Like, you should leave, but always remember to come back. That is what I believe in as well. Always remember to come back and impact on this place that you have left. Don't just go out there, because it is people that made that place better. So you can always fight to make your own country better too.
Okay. Let's move on to something else. There's a question that people used to argue and say, is the grass always greener? Like, when you travel, is it always better? Because there are a lot of issues out there that if I can't lie. Yeah. There's racism, there's loneliness. Because there is this, which was something I experienced, to this feeling of, the way you can walk on the road and just see your guy, hey, have fun now, bro. They know they do that kind of thing for deal.
Yeah.
Especially in Europe, they are minding their business to the core. In fact, it's weird for sometimes they feel like it's weird for you to greet them. Just pass your own and go and do what you are doing. So there is this racism, loneliness, and feeling homesick. What do you say to that?
Yeah, okay. Yes, the grass is not always greener out there. I've seen videos of people complaining about their situation. I've even seen people. There are people returning as well. There are people that are returning. Yes, people that have actually Japa and they went out and saw that it wasn't very good here, and then they felt the need to come back for many reasons. Racism is one of them. The
loneliness.
Loneliness is another reason.
Homesick.
Then some people are homesick. Also, healthcare is something that is very expensive abroad. If you look at the United States, their healthcare, even the citizens, they are complaining about it. That it costs them a lot. In fact, it costs them a lot to actually access healthcare.
Access healthcare.
Something else is the job opportunities available there. The job opportunities available. Some people It's not something some people will want to take up here in
But
Nigeria, but they actually go there and they find delight in it. But still, some people after they are stressed out from taking up 2 to 3 jobs, and some of them don't actually want to continue with that for them.
you
So the
spoke
grass
about
for me
job.
is not always
It's
greener.
not always greener. Agreed. But you spoke about jobs there. She na hear job one day.
It's about the stress. It's about the stress
And that one
in
is
those
a
jobs.
personal thing. It's not the country. It's just maybe the person is a lazy person.
It's not about being lazy. Look, there are people that take up 2 to 3 jobs just to be able to offset bills, because it's not like it's not as if they are not earning from the job, but
Yeah.
those jobs they spend a lot of it in what's it called, in their in housing.
Utility.
Yes, utility, healthcare as well. So those are a reason enough to actually.
Yeah. Me for this thing you spoke about healthcare. I feel like no matter how expensive the healthcare is, at least you are getting the value of what you are paying for. You are assured that if anything do you at any point in time, they have the facilities to ensure that you no go die. Do you understand?
Yes.
Talk more of Nigeria here wey be say there are people that are dying from malaria here in Nigeria. Get small sickness wey go do you. All this, do you know how hospitals in Nigeria reject people
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
because they don't have the facilities.
I'm just saying I'm just saying about the grass not being greener there. These are like disadvantages of staying there. You spend a lot of money, or that money comes in, but you
Yeah.
spend a lot of a huge chunk of it on those things like that.
But the standard of living is also better there.
I do reckon that.
Yeah, so even if you are spending a lot on healthcare, with $200 you can go into a supermarket and get provisions and foodstuffs that can last you and probably even your family for
But
up to
how
a month.
about people not having saving in the end of the day?
Are you saving? Yeah, as
I've
you dey
seen
here,
people
you dey
complain
save.
about it.
Here in Nigeria you dey save. You are saving here in Nigeria sef, you are even at loss because your money is inflation is working against your money. You save 100,000 naira today, next year that 100,000 naira is no longer 100,000 naira.
But are there not people here? Are there not people here that are doing well? That's the question.
Yeah, there are people here that are doing well, but what is the ratio to those that are not doing well compared to over there?
It's quite huge, but
Yeah, the system is not balanced here. It's not balanced. The standard of living here, guy, people are suffering in Nigeria here. People are suffering. Was it not recently they increased minimum wage to 77k? How much is 77k? Let's say you now, as if you say you don't finish school, you went to Lagos to get an apartment. Average apartment in Lagos, say you wan find room safe contain for good area wey get security light. Guy, you go dey spend nothing less than 700-800k. That's what you be spending, and you are collecting 150,000 naira per month. You go dey pay transportation. Do you know how expensive transportation is in Lagos? You pay feeding. If as a bachelor you go dey spend nothing less than 50k in a month. You go dey save. If your house rent is 700k and you are collecting 150, for you to meet up to the 800k for a year, you have to be saving at least, I think, around 67,000 every month out of your 150,000. How much is left? It's not like 80k. You comot foodstuff money from there, 50. Transportation nko. So which saving are you talking about?
well, I see that. But the only thing I know is that as somebody who earns a certain amount of money, you don't just go and rent house in places that are very expensive. You can also go to other places and rent house, and you still be doing well for yourself and managing what you have. But the bottom line is that we have opportunities in this country, as it is a developing country. So we have opportunities. We have, if you can think creatively and come up with something, there's a huge market for us that you can thrive here. That's what I'm trying
But
to
the
say.
facilities to maximize these opportunities, do we have it? Educational system zero, infrastructure zero, medical system zero. If you no dey healthy, you no fit innovate. If you never chop, you no fit innovate. In fact, for you to innovate, you have to have attained good education. That's why I was arguing that I feel like most of these people that have come up with these tech startups, I feel like they must have acquired foreign education.
Well, some of them went out to acquire foreign education. Some of them also, did their stuff here and came up with ideas that that made them who they are today.
Because the education that is being given to us here, I don't think is enough for you to innovate anything.
And it's not so much about it's about training as well. When you are done with education and you feel like what you want to develop, you don't have the skill necessary for it. You can still go and train yourself. You can still obtain training from different places and still
like online
persist
learning.
with. Well, yes.
I think one of the other reasons why people argue and say the grass is not always green over there is the issue of cold.
Oh,
some Nigerians can't
withstand
the cold, so they run back here.
A lot of factors. I feel like there's a lot of factors, but some of them don't come to my mind right now. So.
But that cold, I feel like that one can be enjoyed.
Yeah, it can be definitely. I don't feel like cold is what it should be a major reason. Yes, no.
You can enjoy it, but okay. Let me now ask the question. As it stands now, I want to get your personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Can Nigeria still work?
Yeah, I feel like Nigeria can still work.
In our time, I'm not talking about when we don't die, come out.
Yes, in our time, Nigeria
we can see a better Nigeria in our time.
Yes, we can actually make things better if we persistently, if we unite as a nation and persistently work towards making it better. In many ways, we can continue to contribute to the development of the nation. We can continue to, as you said earlier, diasporans are coming and obtaining their voters cards to try to. So those are things that we ought to continue to do and to continue to check properly that the election is not rigged. Those are things that we continue.
Do we have power? I want us to talk about that maybe. Do we have power over the election in Nigeria?
Before, if you look at the rate of rigging before, it was very, very high. But now it's a lot. It has improved over time, at least to an extent.
I think
we could see the beavers. We could see the beavers that was used, but it wasn't like at some point it was stopped. It wasn't really fully implemented. But if there are people, a lot of people there that are concerned about it, to ensure that this beavers is properly implemented. Yeah. We could get it done better.
Personally, I feel like this recent election that we just had was one of the biggest rigging. I agree that I don't have a lot of memory with an experience with past elections, but this was one that I was really involved in because it was so obvious to anybody that cared to look at it that was not the actual result that Nigerians voted for. Because see, the masses came out for this guy, Ike. People came out for him. And at the end of the day, what still happened? So when you say Nigeria can work, how? This brings me to my question of, do you think, if you say Nigeria can work, do you think getting Nigeria to work can be achieved through the normal democracy of voting, or there needs to be a revolution?
I also feel like there needs to be a revolution, a change in what we actually.
And when I speak about revolution, I mean by force.
Oh, by force? I'm not actually. No, I'm not.
I think that's the only way Nigeria
I'm not an advocate of force like that because it leads to destruction of life and property. So I'm not an advocate of it. The change I'm talking about is constitution. If we continue to pressure the politicians, the leaders to have a change in constitution, then. And if things are done properly, Nigeria can actually work. The beavers, if properly implemented, it can bring about free and fair election.
I feel like with the way the country is moving now, I don't think we are going to see a better Nigeria in our time.
Oh, I would just say you shouldn't lose hope. That's just it for me, because I feel like you are already discouraged from a lot of things that are happening, but we can get it going well. If we continue.
When we say a better Nigeria, what will you?
Even if it doesn't work in this our generation, but let it just be that we put up that necessary fight to make it better for the coming generation. Because it mustn't always be all about us. It mustn't always be all about us, enjoyment and everything. Although I reckon that we should also enjoy ourselves as well. but we should fight for the coming generation, because if we leave it to continue to decay, who's going to make it better? The country is just going to continue to plunge into a hole that nobody can rescue it from. It's only for us to take up initiative to make it better.
What would you define as a better Nigeria? What does a better Nigeria look like to you?
Well, there are blueprint of good countries. Honestly, yes. Now, there are good countries that things work well. That is what I just want for Nigeria. Let things work well. Let us be up and about and doing in different aspects. In every sector you can think about: agriculture, infrastructure, technology, every sector. If we can get it working, then that is a better Nigeria for me.
What would you say Nigeria needs to get to this point currently as it stands?
We need to get the citizens to believe and to understand that this is a developing nation, and we shouldn't always expect job from the government. We should
not always expect job from the government.
Yes, as a developing nation, I could recall one guru talking to Indians that as developing nation, which they are, they shouldn't always expect job. I feel like the same thing is also applicable to Nigeria. We shouldn't always expect job from the government. We should try to come up with something that will improve the difference in any sector that we choose for ourselves.
I think I can agree to that. We shouldn't always expect jobs from the government. So what then should we expect from the government?
Support is what we should expect from the government, though. Yes, which I think the government is delivering to an extent. You can see this startup, they try to give them facilities that improve them.
So let's kind of like make a prediction. 10 years from today, how do you think Nigeria would look like? Do you think we'll have gotten better? Because T-Pain is about to come in for another this thing. So what is your prediction for the second tenure?
Yeah, that Tinubu is about to come in is not so certain. Now, election needs to hold first before you talk about
it. Is 100% certain.
I don't know where you brought your statistics for that. It's 100%, but we know that it's a future term, and then we have not seen it yet.
Oh yeah, so, I will remind you.
I'm not saying it's not going to come, but it's not certain. Yes, I mean there has to be election before it comes in. So
what is your prediction?
In 10 years' time, whether I feel like Nigeria is going to continue to improve, and in 10 years' time we'll be somewhere. I can't say exactly.
You say Nigeria is going to continue to improve, like we are improving currently. It's better you say we will start to improve.
No, we are improving.
Improving how?
Improving.
In what aspect?
Okay, didn't you see the coastal road that is being built? Yes, now the coastal road is something like is improving in infrastructure. We are going to continue to improve in different aspects as well. Agriculture as well, we're going to continue to improve on it. And in 10 years' time, we'll be somewhere. That's what I'm just trying to say. I'm not saying that I'm certain about whatever.
If you say so, Ike, you are a patriotic citizen.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I am a patriotic
citizen. You love Nigeria.
And I want to see it work.
To serve Nigeria, you go do NYS and make you serve your country. It was nice having you today. Happy Independence.
Thank you.